We're going? Okay. So we're continuing with Srimad Bhagavad-gita. Vande Shri Guru Gaurango Radha Govinda Sundaro Sagunagiyate Chata Gita Gudarta Gauravam. This is Param Guru Maharaj's introductory verse to Gita. Bowing down to the holy feet of Shri Guru, Shri Gauranga, and Shri Radha Govinda Sundar, all accompanied by their associates, I sing the glories of the hidden treasure of Srimad Bhagavad-gita. Okay, so last week we finished on verse number 26. I'll just read that, review that one more time. Kama Krodha Vimuktanam Jatinam Jata Chetasam Abhito Brahma Nirvanam Vartate Viditatmanam. Persons of the renounced order who have controlled their thoughts, who are free from desire and anger, and who have achieved knowledge of the nature of the soul, are liberated whether they live or die. And I was remembering one story that Srila Swami Maharaj Prabhupada told, where one saintly person, he was traveling, and let me see, I have it here, I looked it up. I don't remember it very well. There was a saintly person on his way. He met a prince, the son of a king, and he blessed him, saying, "My dear prince, may you live forever." Then next, the sage met a saintly person and said to him, "You may either live or die." Then he met a brahmachari and blessed him, saying, "My dear devotee, may you die immediately." Finally, the sage met a hunter, and he blessed him, saying, "Neither live nor die." So the idea is that the prince is living a life of great enjoyment, enjoying the world, and as a result of that, he will have to pay some consequence after he leaves. So the blessing that the sage gives him is, it's better that you always live, then you won't have to face the consequences. And then he meets a saintly person, and you can live or die. And this is what is being referred to here, where someone who has entered that plane of consciousness, it is a plane of consciousness. So whether they're in this world or whether they're there, doesn't matter actually. And we saw that with our Gurudev, that he was always living in Vrindavan. He was always living in the Vaikuntha plane. And wherever he was, he brought that. That the Gurudev actually gave that as one definition of Vaikuntha, because one meaning of Vaikuntha is that which has no limit. So no limitation. So one way that can be understood, as Gurudev rendered it, is that Vaikuntha can descend anywhere. And also Gurudev liked to quote that line in Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's song, Jejina Grihe Bhajana Deki Grihete Goloka Bhai. That when I see that my family members, they are engaged, in our home, they are engaged in the service of the Lord, then I feel that Goloka has descended here. So it is a plane of consciousness. And the brahmachari who's doing great austerity, then better you die immediately, he tells him, because now you're going to so much trouble, but your afterlife will be very good. So better you die quickly. And then the hunter, don't live and don't die, because he's already living a hellish life, And he will, after he dies, he will also have to experience hellishness as a consequence of his life. Okay, so then we can resume. And we can hear Gurudev. Let me see if we're in the right place. No. Okay, I'm just going to read it. Sparshan kritva mahir bhayam chakshus chaivantade bhuvo Pranapano samokritva nasabhyantara chadino. 28. Yatendriya manobuddhir munir moksha parayana vigatecha bhaya krodo yasada mukta evasa. Expelling from the mind all the external sense objects of sound, touch, form, taste, and smell, centering the concentration and stabilizing the incoming and outgoing breath, subjugating the senses, mind, and intelligence, dedicating himself to liberation, his desire, fear, and anger gone, such a sage is ever liberated. And now we come to the last verse, which is very wonderful and very important verse. Bhoktadam yagyatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam yatva mam shantim vichati. I am the enjoyer and objective of the sacrifices performed by persons of action, and of the austerities performed by persons of knowledge. I am Narayan, the indwelling monitor of all planes of life, the worshipable Supreme Personality who awards liberation. I am Krishna, the well-wisher of all and the dear friend of the devotees. One who knows me thus attains the bliss of knowing his own original divine identity. So very important verse, and Srila Swami Maharaj Prabhupada famously called this the peace formula. That if we can follow the principles we can accept these principles which are outlined in this verse, then we will have peace. This is the only way to achieve peace. So there are 3 points which are mentioned here. The first, Bhoktadam yagya tapasam, that I am the real enjoyer, the real recipient of all sacrifice that takes place in this world. So this is if we can adjust ourselves with this principle. I was just hearing a talk of Param Guru Maharaj the other day where he was also speaking on this point. How if we can always adjust ourselves with this principle that we are to serve, that we are dedicating units, that we will attain an invulnerable position. If we can always adjust with this principle, that the Lord, He is the enjoyer. We are to be enjoyed, we are to serve, we are to supply His enjoyment. And Param Guru Maharaj also appreciated Hegel's expression so much that if an absolute entity exists, he must possess 2 characteristics. One, that he is by himself, meaning that he is in his own category. He is his own source, his own origin. There's nobody equal to him, there's nobody superior to him. That is one point. And then the second characteristic, that he is for himself. He exists for his own satisfaction. Everything, the real current of this world, it is for his satisfaction. That is the real fundamental current. It is moving in accordance with his will, his satisfaction. So everything is meant for him. Actually, if we can read the environments properly, that is what we will find. That is the real fundamental current. Everything is for him, and we are also for him. This is what we have to adjust to. That everything is for him, we are also for him. And this is very difficult, of course. It is the moment we are, as Param Guru Maharaj has also said, we are ruling as, how was it he said? We are all ruling in our own imaginary kingdoms, like something like that. We've all created our own imaginary kingdoms, and we are ruling there. We want to be master of all we survey, even to the extent that, as Satan expressed, better to reign in hell than to serve in heaven. For me, being a master, that is all in all. Even if I have to be a master of something low, which necessarily it must be so. Because how can you be a master of that which is superior to you? If you want to assume a position of mastership, then necessarily you have to come in connection with lower things. It cannot but be so. So this is like the crux of the matter, you can say. Which do you prefer? Do you prefer to be a master in a lower land, or do you prefer to be a servant in a higher land? For the devotees, it is obvious. For the real devotees, it is natural and wonderful and attractive to have a small place in a higher land. We were just hearing the other day our Gurudev's charming expression in Revealed Truth that the jiva souls, they're very fortunate because they are so small, and so they can swim in the ocean of Krishna's rasa. So they are very fortunate because of their tiny, finite nature. It's like they can drown in the sweetness of the rasa of Krishna. Param Guru Maharaj, he also expressed very nicely how in this world someone might say, I am such a great man, I command so many other men, if I snap my fingers, so many men will come and jump, they're at my every beck and call. I'm ruling over so many, I'm a master of so many, I command so many men, armies, societies, or whatever it may be. That is considered to be a great thing in this world. I've got the number one position in my company, I'm the CEO, or whatever it may be. I've got 50 employees, 100 employees, 1,000 employees, 10,000 employees who are all under me. I've got such a high position, so many men. The more men you have, the more persons you have working under you, the higher position. That will be considered a more enviable position. But Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he expressed how in the higher land, it is just the opposite feeling. And this is like illuminating the feeling in this conception of das anudas, like showing the beauty of it, the attractiveness of it. Servant of the servant. This is our conception, right? To be servant of the servant of the servant. But what is the feeling? Not that I've got the lowest position. I've got the worst part. I'm like the lowest employee in the company. I got the short end of the stick, or whatever it may be. That is not their feeling. Rather, Srila Sridhar Maharaj expressed their feeling is that, I am so fortunate because I have so many guardians above my head. This is their feeling. I have so many guardians, so many great, wonderful guardians. They are taking care of me. They are better than me. How fortunate I am to be in the company of persons that are better than me. And as a small example, we may remember experiencing ourselves, and we see with children, they're so happy to be in an environment where they have, aunties and uncles and, so many their mother, their father, and aunties and uncles and grandfathers and grandmothers. They're happy, they're nourished in this type of environment. So many great and loving persons are above me, and they're caring for me. Like we see with the children here. Anything that they need, somebody's taking care of them. Everyone around them is a friend. So something like that, giving us some idea. But it is difficult for us to really understand the joy and the dignity of a life of servitorship. But anyhow, this principle, if we can apply this, so many of the things that give us anxiety, really, we can say, practically 100% of the things that give us anxiety, it will just dissolve. If we can remember this principle, this world is not moving for your satisfaction. it is moving for Krishna's satisfaction. The purpose of this world is not to satisfy you. You are not the center of the universe. Whenever things don't go our way, go as we planned, go as we expected, we apply this principle, everything will leave us in a puff of smoke. And also, first verse of Bhagavatam also comes to mind. And how does it go? For the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, there it's describing how the Lord, He knows the reason for which everything takes, what is it, artha? I can't remember. Swarat. Arte Swabhigya Swarat. I can't remember. But saying that He knows the meaning of Bhigya. He knows the meaning, the artha, for everything that takes place in this world. He knows that meaning. It is known to Him. But then also at the same time, it mentions Swarat. He is independent. Means He doesn't have to tell you. He doesn't have to explain to you. No. So our only duty is to adjust, Every time, place, and circumstance, whatever is coming, we have to adjust to that with that vision that it's His play, it's His dance. Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he liked so much that incident when Achyutananda Prabhu, who was a disciple of Srila Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, he was Srila Prabhupada was very pleased with him, and he sent him for some further training, some special training from Srila Sridhar Maharaj. And so he spent some time in the Math. It was Achyutananda, I think also Ramanuja. And so on one occasion, Achyutananda went to stay at the Hapanya Math, and the Math in charge, welcome, Krishna. And the Mat in charge, he was there for some time. And then he had to go for some reason. And so he left the Mat, and Achyutananda was there alone. Or I'm not sure sometimes we hear Hapanya Mat, but maybe it was another location. I'm not exactly sure. But anyhow, one way or another, he was left alone. And the person in charge, he did not leave enough food stock for him. I think he was only planning to go for 1 day, but then he ended up having to go for 3 days. And he didn't leave enough food for this Achyutananda. And so it ended up being that this Achyutananda was staying there for 1.5 days without any food. No food, zero food. Everything was finished. And then finally he made his way back to our temple in Navadvip, and Srila Sridhar Maharaj asked him, why did you come back early? And Achyutananda explained, because there was no food. I had no food. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj said, you had no food, so you've been fasting. For how long have you been fasting? And Achyutananda said, I was fasting for 1.5 days. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj said, why did you wait so long to come back? Why didn't you come back immediately? You stayed like that, fasting. And then Achyutananda, he replied, Krishna is dancing. Krishna is dancing. Krishna, he's engaging in his, mad dance. And sometimes when he's dancing, he's kicking somebody here, and he's kicking somebody there, accidentally, and making some devastation. But he's not, he's in his own dance. He's not thinking. But, that's okay. If he wants to kick me in his dance, then that's okay. Actually, he should dance on my chest. Why should he put his feet on the ground? He can dance on my chest. So that was Achyutananda's very charming answer. Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he liked that very much. And many times he quoted that, It's a very, very beautiful vision. Things are moving in the environment, and it's not that what I think is necessary for me in every time, place, and circumstance. The higher beings are going to sit down and come to my level and okay, you want it like this and you want it like that. Okay, we'll try and adjust things for you. No, there's this, higher flow, this higher current, which is superseding everything else. And it's moving this way, moving that way. And we have to learn to adjust to that. And if we can do that, if we can accept this principle, we will have real peace in our lives. This world is not meant to satisfy us, it is meant to satisfy the Lord. So bhoktaram yagya tapasam. This is the first principle. Everything is meant for his enjoyment, not for my enjoyment. And then the next point, Sarva Loka Maheshwaram, that I am the Lord of all, I am the Lord of everything. I'm taking care of everything and everyone. It's not that we are victims of a chaotic environment, as Srila Sridhar Maharaj had said. There is some rhyme, there is some reason behind everything. I am in control. So we don't need to, what is coming to us, we have to have the confidence it's coming for some reason. And it is a good reason. And then the next point that consolidates that even in a very sweet way, Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Suhridam means friendly. I am friendly. I love everybody. Not he's a vindictive God who wants to punish you. But I'm in control. Everything's happening for a reason, and I'm your friend. So whatever is coming to you, it's to help you. It's not just to give you a hard time. It's not like God wants to design things so that we're punished or we have to suffer or whatever. But he's our friend. He cares about us. So as Srila Sridhar Maharaj would say, every wave is favorable. Everything that is coming is favorable. And it must be because of what is being expressed here. I'm in control and I'm friendly. Everything's coming, by my arrangement, and it is coming for a good reason, to help you, to benefit you. And this idea is also expressed in this famous Bhagavatam verse, which Srila Sridhar Maharaj would also quote, Tattenu kampam susamikshamano bunjane vatma kritam vipakam hridvago purbir vidadan namaste jiveta yo bhukti pade sa toya bhak. That one who can, first of all understands that what is coming to them is a result of their own previous action. This first principle, I am responsible. This is the first point. Whatever is coming to me, whether I consider it to be good or bad, I am responsible. I created that. By my own previous activity, I have created the current circumstance I am facing. This is one level. Then the next point is made that person is seeking the great, the anukampa, tate anukampa, susamikshamana. Very earnestly, they are seeking the grace of the Lord. Means they are perceiving that what is happening to them is not only a result of their own karma, but it is actually the grace of the Lord. It is not just a question of dry tolerance, stoicism, but the Lord's, there's affection behind that. It's like a child may be unhappy when their parent corrects them. Maybe their mother gives them some slap. The child may not like it. But if some consciousness comes to that child, maybe they become a little more mature, they grow a little more, they may realize, oh, my mother's doing that because she loves me. It's not just that she wants to punish me or she's being mean, but she actually loves me. She's doing, I understand I did something to deserve that. There's a reason why she's doing it to me. No, I caused it myself, actually. I'm responsible. And she actually loves me. She cares about me. So that's why she's doing it. So in that verse it says, so that person, they will very soon be liberated. They will very soon be liberated. It is like also, we hear the example, someone who goes to prison because of some bad activity that they perform, and they'll go, they do the deed, whatever it is, then they have to go to prison, and then they will serve their sentence, and then they'll be released, right? And then they'll do the same thing again. Then they go to prison again, then they get released, but unless and until some consciousness develops within them. Oh, I did wrong, some reform takes place within them. Oh, I did wrong. No, I did wrong. And actually, I should have more punishment. I deserve more punishment. Once this realization arises within this person, they will very soon be totally free, and they will never have to go to prison again. So in the same way, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he's also expressed, once we stop blaming the environment and blaming ourselves, our dark days in this world are numbered. He said like that. Our days in this world are numbered. If we can accept this principle, I am responsible for whatever is coming to me. Not the environment, not anyone or anything. It is all down to me. To see the screen. Okay, well, so one who can accept these three principles, Bhoktaram, Yagya Tapasam, that I am the enjoyer, Sarva Loka, Maheshwaram, I am the master of all and everything, and Suhridam, Sarva Bhutanam, I am friendly to all. Yatva Mam Shantim Vichyati, they will know peace. They will know peace. And Srila Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, he also made some comments like how we have the United Nations and we have all these organizations who are trying to affect world peace, right? But this is the only solution. This is the real solution. This is how we can have world peace, on an individual level, on a collective level. This is how we can know peace. So this is a very important verse. Well, we can, I don't know, we can stop there or we can go to chapter 6. We still have little time. Can go to chapter 6. Okay, so we can hear Gurudev.
Shakti, can you explain again the last one you said?
This last verse? This is the last verse of the 5th chapter. Krishna is saying, one who can accept these things, they will know peace. They will taste peace. And these 3 points are Bhoktaram, Yagya Tapasam, Sarva Loka, Maheshwaram, Suhridam, Sarva Bhutanam. That Bhoktaram, Yagya Tapa. Bhokta is referring to enjoyment, right? The enjoyer. I am the enjoyer. I am the real enjoyer in this world. I am the real recipient of all yagya, of all sacrifice, of all tap, of all austerity. Everything is meant to actually be for me. And Sarva Loka Maheshwaram, that I am the Lord, I am the master of everyone, everything, all planes of life. And so he's saying, my position is absolute. My position is absolute. My position is supreme. And finally, Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. I am friendly to everyone. I am everybody's best friend. I love everyone. So one who can accept these things, they will know peace. This Srila Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, he described this as the peace formula, this verse.